Yeah.
This is episode 11 of the second season of 2OT under the Tiebreaker Times podcast family. 2OT is presented by Smart. Simple, smart, game-changing. Simple, smart kami ni Magu. And Magu, this is something that we haven't done. This is the first time that we're actually doing this because we're hosting a very informal post-game show for the Gilas game earlier against Thailand. And we have a very special guest joining us. Of course, waiting for his naturalization, Angelo Kouame. Ange, thank you
Hi,
so much for joining us.
thank you for inviting me, Sir Carlo.
Thank you for staying up. I know it's a little bit later, but I'm sure that you're also hyped up after seeing your teammates, some of your
I,
teammates play earlier.
I am super hyped up, so happy for them, just to see them play, all of them together. It's so fun to watch them play together.
And you were working with these guys in your bubble in Calamba to prepare for this pocket tournament.
Yes, sir.
Did everything you guys work on, did they execute everything or did you see anybody screw up anything? Please tell us.
In the beginning of the game, I saw them execute like most of the plays that we actually train on. But at the end of the day, with the pace of the game, I mean, they have to adjust. So it was like fast break, fast break. So I think they were in need to slow down the game at the end of the game so they can like really be focused on the defense end. But whoever's happened, but they win the game. So
That first quarter ended with the Philippines up by just two because of one guy, Jai Sanok. He knocked down 4 3-pointers, but he did not have a single 3-pointer the rest of the way. You were just talking about the defense. You gotta love that, huh, Ange?
yeah, I loved it because they're pretty shift really quick, and that was a key for all of them. To be able to close out and everything with the ball movement, the ball rotation. I mean, that's the chemistry of the team. So I think they're getting there. They really know each other and they really like to play with each other.
And this is not the first time we're seeing Dwight Ramos play in Gilas Pilipinas men. We saw him before in the last window against Indonesia.
Yes,
But
sir.
we did not see him play this way. 20 points,
Yeah.
7 rebounds, 3
Yeah.
assists, 3 steals, perfect from the field at 7 of 7. Is the UAAP in for a big surprise when Dwight Ramos debuts for Ateneo?
I mean, I'm not surprised because I've been seeing. Because he used to practice with us. I mean, last year, even we practiced together in the final. That's the way how he introduces himself. It's Dwight Ramos. So I'm not
How
really-
about that kid's motor? This Dwight Ramos kind of reminds me of maybe a Rudy Hatfield, a Cliff Hodge, a Calvin Abueva. He was just all over the place, huh?
Yeah.
Is that how he really plays?
That's how you play offensive rebound, especially offensive rebound. You're going for the ring, so you can't see it. And then the pull up, step back, like on 3-point, wherever. He's complete as a player. Big respect for him.
Yun nga, Carlo, the motor of a guy like maybe Hatfield, Hodge, Abueva, but with a shooting touch and
Shooting touch.
so much more talented offensively, right?
That's true. I mean, I have no word or no other word I can describe the way than the way how he can see the floor. He has a great ball handling. He can push the ball really quick. You guys will seeing that, like the way how he push the ball. He can shift the 1 to 2 to 3. He's a complete player.
Because everyone's been saying it, Ange. Losing 30 and then you insert Dwight Ramos. Of course, they're different players, but in
Yep.
terms of filling that role in Coach Tab's system, he's the
Yeah.
perfect replacement for 30.
That's true. That's actually true. And you can actually see the way how he impacts the game. He's a great leader too. He knows how to read a couple of single play. But as a player, it's an opportunity. It's a great opportunity for me to play with somebody like him. Especially
And
with the
so-
replacement until 30.
What can you say about this guy, Baltasar? From, of
What?
course, your favorite school in all of the world, Justin Baltasar. 12 points, 6 rebounds. but he was a plus 32 on the plus minus efficiency. He
Yeah.
was just beasting out there too. That jump hook was deadly, huh?
I know that's the favorite move. We call it favorite during practice. When you got that ball on the post, you already know what's gonna happen, and he's really efficient with that. So you know, who can say anything else about this hoop? That's his favorite movement.
But you
That's
know
what we
what?
love about him.
You know what, Ange? In behalf of everyone, cheering for Gilas Pilipinas, I'm thankful for the work you already put in, because even if you didn't play here in this bubble, I know that you made Justin and Carino and
Yeah.
Will and Isaac go better. So we thank you for your service, and we
Thank you.
cannot wait to see you play
I
for
appreciate.
real
I
as a
appreciate it.
naturalized Filipino.
I appreciate it. I can't wait either.
February, right? February.
I think so.
Hopefully, if
Hopefully.
Congress is able to pass it, we're hoping, of course. But let me just
Can you imagine, Ange, if in February or even the next window after that, if you
Yeah.
ever really get to don the colors, the
Mm.
flag, the shirt that you're wearing right now,
Yeah.
playing and nobody booing you at the same time, because half the Coliseum always boos you anyway. If we get to host the bubble in February,
Yeah.
imagine that, playing in the Philippines with the Philippines on your chest.
Yeah, sir. What do you say? I'm gonna feel about it or what?
yeah.
Yeah.
That first of all, that's a bless actually, because who would have expect me to become a Filipino naturalized player. But I'm so thankful, and that's actually represent for sure. I'm not Filipino from the blood, man. My heart already gave myself to this dedication. I'll commit myself 100% to it, and it's something will really, coming from my chest, and I really want to do it. I really want to be part of it.
And of course, you've been here for a number of years already. You've been bitten by a mosquito, right?
Oh, that's sure. That's for
So
sure.
it's in your blood now, man.
Yes, sir.
If you've been bitten by a Filipino mosquito. No, Ange, I remember hosting a press conference before, and then we asked you about this, about the possibility. I think it was right after Ateneo competed in the Jones Cup. You
Yes,
were
sir.
asked, what about, would you consider being naturalized by the Philippines? And then your answer, I could not forget your answer. You said, I will ask my mom.
Yeah.
So how did that
I
conversation go?
mean, in the beginning, she was afraid. Even before, when we have a couple of talk about it, she was afraid if I'm gonna lose my my Ivorian national citizenship. But it wasn't the case. So she was okay with that. That's why. That's the reason why I told you I'm gonna ask my mom. But for me, it was like, as children, I have to talk to her about it first to see her reaction, and it's something that I really wanted first before her decision coming after. So that's how the process was.
It's just the eligibility for Ivory Coast that you'll lose if you play for the Philippines. But
Yeah,
yeah, you're okay with the citizenship, right?
yes, sir.
Everybody I've ever asked about you, Ange, they talk about your character, the being a stand-up guy, being a great student athlete, and that is what the entire basketball community is looking forward to, having a guy like you, not just a player like you, but a person like you. What does that mean to you? That everybody looks at your personality, who you are as a person before who you are as an athlete.
It means a lot to me, especially coming from an African country. We don't really have an opportunity. So put yourself down and let God elevate you. This is one of our mantra. And I really appreciate being around other people, the way out, people really welcoming me. So it's kind of facilitate thing. And this is come from my nature, and this is an education that I received from my parents. So I'm really thankful for them too, for that.
And just want to talk about some of your teammates who saw action earlier. Of course, we already talked about Dwight and how good he was, and Justin Baltasar as well.
From his favorite school ever.
Yep. Just to clarify, Magu is from Lasal. I'm from Ateneo, so you know who your favorite host is from 2OT. Okay.
Okay. All right.
We have to talk about Matt Nieto. You've won championships alongside him, of course. You know that he is a natural leader.
Yeah.
What did you see from this game in terms of how he handled himself, how he handled the team?
I mean, pretty see the same minded to us in Ateneo as when he was in Ateneo. You know, always ready to step back, to step in front, and try to lead the team the best way how he can. And he really shows how great leader he is. You can see in the call the way how he communicate to other people, try to fix everything else. And when he come in the game, the impact that he has on the game, it's magneto, you know. So yeah, I really feel like it's the same magneto that I used to know in Ateneo.
How about the other kid? Actually, not so much of a kid. The oldest guy on the team right now, Ray Anthony Suerte, from
Yeah,
UE, of course. This guy burst onto the basketball scene a couple of years ago.
yeah,
You've worked with him in that bubble, training with him. The
yeah.
one everybody knew he can shoot, but the only question was, can he do it on the international stage? He looked good out there, huh, Ange?
But the best shooter in the Philippines.
Oh,
that's how. That's how. That's how we used to call him. Yeah,
I
Ray.
like the confidence. I like it.
You know Ray, Papi Ray is a great shooter, man. You can.
You're talking about Reynel Hugnatan, right? Reynel
Yeah.
Hugnatan. I'm kidding.
Ray Sweaty. Actually, you can see in the court. Yeah, I mean, uh, it's the first game, but with the first game, he really showed like what he could have done, and I'm definitely sure it'll come in the coming games. He's gonna show more than we actually see today.
speaking of this just being the first game, when you guys were training for this pocket,
Mm.
were you? Did you have scouting reports about Thailand, how their tendencies are as players, or did you just work on yourselves more than who you were gonna face?
We actually work on their tendency, I think, because like they actually play kind of fake zone defense who just kind of switch to men at the end. So the coaches, Coach John and Coach Tab and Coach Bong actually try to, make us be aware of what's coming. Because for us, it was pretty scary to see in the Sky 3 report that we actually see it today. Because for us, it was like kind of pressure on us. But actually, you can see they did a great job out there. Try to be present everywhere. So actually, we can say that the system really works.
I have a question, Ange. In practice, did Kobe Paras ever try to dunk on you?
Uh, Actually, we didn't play against. We were on the same team. Actually,
Oh, you were on the same team.
That would have been a sight to see, though. Speaking of Kobe Paras, that monster dunk. Oh,
yeah.
and by the way, this is our 81st episode of 2OT.
Oh, okay.
Kobe Paras just gave us a Kobe number, Kobe moment right there. How about the age factor? We knew that the Thailanders, they were going to be the professionals. They were going to be 20, 30 something year olds versus the young men's team of Gilas right now. Did you guys have any concern about that? That maybe they're a lot older than everybody from the Philippines.
Not actually, because we actually as a player, you have to have like that confidence to always be ready and be prepared, no matter who you're gonna face to. So I don't think there is any pressure about the age matter or whatever. I feel like these guys just want to go out there and show what they can do.
But Ange, watching the game, were you a little nervous in the first quarter?
I was actually. I was. I was first quarter. I was actually nervous, but at the end of the second quarter, I was like, okay, it's good. We can relax now.
Jason Nook went 4 of 8, and they were just hanging out at the corners, right?
Yeah. Actually, that was like, I think it was hard for them to close out on every reverse situation. So I mean, they have to adjust it, and they did it.
Watching you play with the Ateneo, I noticed that you are the defensive anchor of your team all the time. Seeing that them missing the corners on the rotations, were you actually yelling at your TV?
Ah, yeah. But I kind of make like the same mistake sometimes. But they have to adjust it. Or with the first and second, when the same thing happen, you have to just adjust it and trying to prepare your mind for the next time, because it's always the same thing's gonna happen over and over.
And you and everyone else put in a lot of work in your training bubble, but to see everything come into fruition, come together, and then lead to a game like that, because everyone expected a win from Thailand, even if we weren't sure who
Yeah,
who their lineup would be. But I don't think a lot of people expected a 93-61 kind of victory, because that's already PBA player level,
yeah,
dropping against Thailand. How good
yeah.
was it to see all of that hard work turning into an outstanding performance for Gilas?
Oh, it feels great and relaxing. It's like the Coach Young said, just trust the process and just trust the system, because it's all who that's all can make you win a game. And you know, I was kind of confident that it's pretty. I thought it's gonna, but I mean, we never know. The second game might be tougher than this one because they already see each other play. But coming for the next day with the same mentality, I think, yeah, they're pretty gonna win it again. So for me, I think it was like kind of okay because I knew they're gonna win it. But yeah, it is what it is. You know.
How about having not played an actual game in such a long time because of the pandemic? Did you see anybody a little too aggressive, or were you satisfied with how they controlled their aggression tonight?
I was kind of satisfied with they control it because the way I was saw the feedback way, there were too many calls like on even on the quotation on like simple touch or whatever. It's different here in the Philippines, so this is those things that they have to adjust. But I really like the aggression, especially the way how they come back on the last quarter when they start to press play press defense. I mean, this is how I know the Philippines team play.
And I'm sure you were very impressed with all of the players right now. But among those who aren't your Ateneo teammates, who do you think played the best game in this one against Thailand?
I think Ran did it. Ran Gomez there, and
One, yeah.
Aldi also gave his best. Kobe, uh, the way I don't know Kobe, I think he can do better than what he did today. But he actually played good.
Yeah.
What I mean is like um, he can really excel more than he actually do today because we all know who is Kobe Paras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another question is that Dave Ildefonso will be sitting out a year, right, before he could join you guys.
Yes.
But how excited are you to be able to be teammates with him in college?
I'm super excited because I think we're gonna lose like a couple of players in
Yeah.
the coming year. So seeing Dave coming, especially be recruited from the national team and everything, I've been seeing him in practice. I'm pretty excited to what's coming again after this generation pass.
You have another question, Magu, because I have one.
Go ahead.
And who has the bigger biceps, you or Juan?
I think man is pretty small right now. I gotta go to the gym. I gotta go to the gym.
My question follow up to that is: did you know that one's second name is Gerardo? It's FIBA. You got to put your whole name, right?
I didn't know that.
It's Juan Gerardo Gomez de Liaño.
I didn't know that.
And we thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's a
Thank you,
pleasure
Sir
to be able to
Carlos.
talk to you.
Thank
But
you.
if you
Appreciate
have a message for anyone who would be so excited to watch you if you get to play in FIBA, if you want to talk to Filipino basketball fans, what would you tell them?
Um, Thank you guys for the support, and I really appreciate whatever you guys done during this past year. What I can say is keep supporting us, keep giving all of this how would you say that?
Puso.
Yeah, puso. Wow, that's a perfect word. This puso, we really need it. Let's go, Laban Filipinas.
It's amazing to hear that from you, Ange. Thank you so much for joining us and have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
And it's not just us. It's not just us excited. A lot of people are looking forward to you joining the program formally this time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ange.
Appreciate it.